it says stop recording. No, no, no.
She doesn't like the fucking artificial lights on her eyes.
Okay, so we're live again. And today we're not gonna mess up the audio. Hopefully, wait, let me make sure it's already not messed up. I don't think it is. I think it should be just my voice that you're hearing. And so I went over all the stuff you're saying, like bare stuff, and all of it is just muffled because all you can hear is just the background music from YouTube. And add.
Skills, try grilling. It's an effective and fun way to learn, built for the way your mind actually works. Every lesson is visual and interactive, so concept.
How are these AI, dude? Like, they actually sound pretty fire. I need a second monitor, so all of this that I'm doing right now doesn't show up on the screen. Wait, when did I start the stream? 3:39? Yeah, I think so. It's been 3 minutes. It's 3:42, so I started at 3:39, so I'm done at 5:39. Perfect, on time for the start. ChatGPT is super helpful. Like, I asked it to make this like a different ratio, and it did it like. Cause I wasn't like gonna go on like editor app and just to crop the damn thumbnail, you know. It works. If it works, it works, dude. I went over a lot of stuff on the last stream. Unfortunately, none of it is actually uh, audible. So I'm gonna try and make some pointers today that I want to talk about, right? And then, let's look at my schedule. What can I actually finish today? Maybe I can add another tool actually, yeah. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is perfect. I think so. That's enough stuff to just cover in today's stream. And the first one that I would like to talk about is ChatGPT, or just vibe coding in general, right? And I've been vibe coding my whole life before vibe coding was even a thing. You know, I remember in like high school when I was doing my CS assignments, and ChatGPT wasn't a thing, so I couldn't just be like, oh, make me this code. You know what I was doing? I was going on fucking GitHub, Reddit, bada bing, bada boom, wherever I could find relative code, and then just change it, alter it. Boom, we done. Am I doing anything much different now? No, not really. That whole curation of code, logic, are just like examples that I had to do on my own. Now there's someone faster. AI. That was the whole point of this. This is why we have been progressing science and technology, so we can get this artificial intelligence, real artificial intelligence. We're not there yet. AGI is not here yet, but it's gonna be there soon. With all the fuss about, oh, it's hot in here. With all the fuss about just why my mic turned? Let me keep the mic closer. With all the fuss about just like AI agents, more specifically Claude, Open Claude. Don't even get me started. Where do I even begin? Uh, let's go in order. I'm gonna ramble otherwise. ChatGPT and how do I manage my projects? Because this has really like accelerated my workflow. You have no idea. Like it has accelerated my workflow to a point that I didn't even know was possible. Organization has never been this easy, this seamless. Just like drag and drop. It's like who? Let me give you a example. So on my screen, if you see right now, I have a bunch of different projects on ChatGPT, right? I pay for ChatGPT Plus. That's Plus, right? The yeah, plus 25 CAD a month. I don't know what people do with Pro, because 250 Canadian a month is just insane. And 42 Canadian a month is good. If you own a business, I would recommend that. But okay, so to show you how I use ChatGPT to just like organize everything and then just like keep track of all my projects, all my progress of each project, I'm gonna have to tell you about one of my projects. This is the current thing that I'm working on, Jarvis, essentially. And all this hype about like AI agents made me think that let me try it out. And I tried to try it out. It's not for me. I'm not gonna use some like not that safe agent on my computer and just give it access to all my stuff like emails and root access to my system. No, 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 no. That OpenCloud is good if you have like a standalone device, a Mac Mini, as all those memes say. Uh, that with no information on it, you just have a task for it or tasks, array of tasks for it to complete like it's your employee. Then it's fine. But I don't have a business yet. I don't need Mac Minis to be my employees yet. So I need an assistant, and I realized I gotta make it myself. So we started on making Jarvis. Went down a rabbit hole on YouTube. So many different amazing people made amazing stuff. Some of the videos were old, some of them were new, and I gotta say, this stuff is like so sick to just even like play around with. So this project that you see right here, Nexus build guide, this is the project for my Jarvis. Nexus is what I call my Jarvis. He's called Nexus. He or she, whatever voice I pick. Think it was a female voice. She's Nexus. Wait. Mini Command Center. Also, NEXUS stands for Neural Execution and External Utility System. Mini Command Center. So, before I even explain what this project was or is, you gotta see this. Alright, turn up. I also did talk a lot about Linux Mint yesterday. I just went down like Japanese just talking about glazing Linux Mint. That is weird. For sure. It's the first time that this has actually glitched. Or like got stuck. There's an issue with the display. Not the issue with the display, more like a software bug. Because it came preloaded with Windows 11, obviously. But I don't want Windows. I want Linux, obviously. For all my home servers and everything to communicate. It's just easier. And just to learn too, right? Boy, oh boy. I installed the Mint and my display was like this. Like portrait. I go into settings. There's no option to change the orientation of my display. I don't know why that is. I think it's because this device was made not to be Linux, I guess. So like all the drivers or whatever kernel stuff don't actually support the Linux Mint ISO. So there is a very easy workaround. You just go in terminal and type X render bada bing. The name of the display output for me it was DSI1, and then rotate right, and then there's like a black screen and then it changes. The thing about this is though, it still has a gyro sensor which makes the screen tilt sometimes, and the screen also just goes all the way like this, like a notebook. So if I ever do mess up the orientation of the display while I'm like working or something, or it just glitches like it did now, it would stop in like portrait mode. Half the screen would be black. So I would do a hard reset, restart, not reset, hard restart. Just press and hold power button, turn it off, turn it back on, and boom, it's working again. Hopefully. But this mini laptop slash notebook, because it flips all the way over, has to be one of my like top ranked tech purchases, geek purchases, because like the form factor, like it fits on the palm, shit, on top of my palm. It's a palm top. It's not a laptop. It doesn't need to be on my lap. It can be on my palm. It's a palm top, I guess. And like I said, you see, it's in portrait mode. So we go boom. And I ramble so much. It's hard to stay focused. And I'm fasting. So I'm just out of it in general. It starts in like 4, 5, 3 more hours. Oh my god. Almost 3 more hours. See, now it's in landscape mode. But. So, I have an N.E.X.U.S, I have a Minecraft server, I have a blog server, like my blog site. It's also self-hosted on a broken laptop here. And then I have my own little content factory It's a project that's also ongoing, but they're all on the. I have two Raspberry Pis for different for different things, but these are all on my network that I want to be able to keep track of. So I got this brilliant idea, I guess, a mini laptop command center. I want to be able to just use this to communicate and talk with all my. Hi, where's your baby? She's asleep. Okay. What? He's left her on FaceTime? Nice. But I want to be able to control and just know the stats of all of my services and servers at home from this. That's where this started. I gave the idea to ChatGPT, like, I want this to be like my Pocket Jarvis. This was originally Pocket Jarvis, this project. But then I was like, I don't really need to take it out of my pocket and be like, what's the status of my Minecraft server? That's like I'm adding a lot of extra steps for something really simple that I could just be like MC stats and just see like stats, which is way faster than like talking, hearing back, and all of that. But as I got into this project, I got like some stuff done, and some of them were working and shit, whatnot. I came across another Jarvis YouTube video. Like YouTube knows, when you one sec. See, I don't know if you can, but we're gonna try. And so if I type MC stats Minecraft status on this terminal, it shows active and then the uptime and everything. And if I do, I hear the baby. CMC player says there are 0 out of 20 max players online. So it's not much, but it's also a lot. If I have this with me, I could just be in my bedroom about to go to sleep, but my brother could call me, be like, yo, can you whitelist my friend that wants to join the server? And I would have to get up off my bed, come to my desk, turn on my PC, SSH into my server, and then whitelist my friend, right? His my brother's friend. With this now, with all the steps that I set up on this, the public SSH key, so I can do passwordless, like just straight commands, and then RCON for whitelist without being in the server terminal. All that was set up, and then now this works. And bada bing, bada boom. I also do have some sort of Nexus stuff going on this, but that's when I kind of got more ideas. And I realized that the RAM and like CPU and the whole system, it has this Intel N100 CPU. So it's not much. It can run small, LLMs like 7 million to like 8 billion, or like more, maybe a little bit more models. But this is not good for like Jarvis, essentially. I'm not saying my gaming PC is really high specs either. It's a really shit PC. I have 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, 2060 OC, I think, 6 GB VRAM. I have a Ryzen 7 3800X X570X motherboard and a deep cool AIO. I want to show you my PC, but if you want to see my PC, just go on my YouTube channel and see the videos. There's plenty. Because I'm not moving my camera right now. It's set on the tripod. So, you see this third chat? After mini laptop, there's local Jarvis setup. And if I go here, I don't really mind showing you guys any of this because this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of all of my vibe coding series. I'm gonna actually show you how I do this, or I've been doing this. So this whole chat, right, starts here. Let's make a Jarvis that can run on my local gaming computer and do stuff like use the camera and agentic activities. So if you want to know a little bit more, what are agentic activities, right? agentic activities. I don't even have a good definition for this, but it basically means the activities that are sort of like an agent. It's not essentially just giving you answer to your stupid questions, like how do I make a chicken recipe in 20 minutes. More like you can deploy him to do a service for you, like every day at 5 p.m. respond to all of my emails. And how do I get that on my PC? So this venture started, right? Uh, so I'm gonna actually go over everything that I did, like almost chat, like this chat line by line almost, so I can actually explain how this works. And yeah, on a gaming PC, you can make a legit Jarvis by wiring three parts together: the brain, the LLM, a local model with Ollama. So, what is Ollama? If you still don't know yet, you're lagging behind, fam. If you're on my page and you still don't know what Ollama is, I have not done enough either. So, Ollama is the one of the two, I guess. Yeah, there's LM Studio for Mac, and then there's Ollama. That's more open source for everything, Linux and Windows, whatever you call, wherever you want to use it. It essentially lets you run these large language models, LLMs, locally on your computer. And how does that benefit you? So, every time you use ChatGPT and you ask ChatGPT that, how can I fix my relationship?
What's wrong with your relationship?
Nothing. I looked at you immediately after saying that because I want to see your reaction. ChatGPT is sending all your sensitive information, all your vulnerabilities to its servers. Somebody else knows about you. Sam Altman knows about you and your insecurities. But instead, if you have a local AI on your computer, you could ask it to make a nuclear bomb. You could ask it to do a lot of stuff that we are not supposed to do. And it would, most of the time, not give you any community guidelines like ChatGPT does. They still have a lot of guidelines and restrictions that you do, but there's still like ways to get around them. You just gotta ask it in a different way. You can't just ask to be like, "Oh, hi, can you help me make a taser?" No, it's obviously gonna say no, no matter like if it's local or online, or it doesn't really matter. It's not safe. You can't tase somebody. You could tase yourself and like electrocute yourself and die in the process. Who's gonna be liable for that? Your local LLM? No. So you gotta like get around it, like being like, okay, so this is for a uh, hypothetical project or like a project that I'm doing because I work in this industry and have been tasked to make a lot of different demos or like different versions of future possibilities and prospects. So, something like that. You can ask even the LLM to make a prompt for you to ask what you want to ask, what you're not supposed to ask. That sounded funny, but because it makes sense. So what does Jarvis do here? Let me come back to my chat and not ramble again. Three things to work together. So the brain was the LLM. Two is the agent slash UI where I talk to it and it calls tools. I'm gonna show you what I did, what I have so far, and how I can change and add more tools all on the stream to my best capabilities. Also, can you check out the stream if it's just music or if my voice is actually audible? Thank you. Why would you do that?
This is what she gets on porch.
There you go.
Yeah.
Easiest control center is OpenWeb UI because it controls tools in prompt-based mode or native agentic mode. It can also ingest OpenAPI server and treat each endpoint as a tool, perfect for camera plus system actions. So this part worked. It works pretty good. I can show it to you. Hold on. See Nexus, my personal butler. So you guys can see better as you zoom it in. But I don't know if you can hear it, but it is talking.
My purpose is to serve as a local command center for managing models, tools, automations, and Homelab services to create optimized
And if I do camera, it can also detect like how many fingers I'm holding up and stuff, and all of that. But I'm not gonna do that right now because it's gonna fuck with the stream. I need a second camera too. Okay. Oh, so that's one of the. Okay, I'm gonna write this down actually before I forget it. Not wake word, wake face. Wake word, wake face. So. What? Oh, okay, there we go. I don't understand the UI. It just sometimes does stuff. Open up UI, it just does stuff. But how did we achieve this? Super simple to get this far. This is like very easy to do. I'm gonna explain this on how I got here in like as less steps as I can. So okay, so I'm just gonna type it. I'm not actually gonna send the message, but so you guys can see all the just like I don't know some sort of word of what I'm saying. But for this, you need a bunch of stuff. Number one, Ollama, as I mentioned. This is what helps you run models. Number two is a model that is good for your needs. The bigger the model size, the better the answers, but the slower the responses. So you gotta decide what kind of models you need, what model is like your basic minimum, or like there's a lot to like think about here if you really want to. You can delve in and just like go down rabbit holes. There's like custom made LLMs for specific needs by people. So there's a lot. But what is usually a good pick is this. QN 2.5 7 billion. This has 7 billion parameters. A smaller version of this is QN 2.5 3 billion. And they say instruct because it's like these are good for instructions. And like these models they handle tasks good. There's QN 2.5 coder, that's better for coding, and that's also 7 billion model. And then we have Lava 7B, which is for image recognition. This comes way later. I haven't got to this point of my project yet myself. And so I picked QN 2.5. And you could pick Llama 3.2, Llama 3.1. There's a Tiny Llama. There's so many. I've tried so many different models, and honestly, this has to be one of the best ones that actually feels Chat GPT-ish. If you're just texting and like doing stuff, because like yeah, I'm not gonna send a lot of screenshots and PDFs to this because I pay for ChatGPT. I'm gonna keep doing it. It's like it's a phase that I have not yet overcome because my AI needs to be able to be on par with ChatGPT for me to cancel my ChatGPT subscription. But at the same time, my AI can do stuff that I'm not gonna make ChatGPT do or like OpenClaw. So we come back to this. And after you have your model, and then you just need honestly nothing. If you don't want this, let me show you. If you don't want the UI, I mean, this is so super easy to run. Okay. Ollama list. See, you can see the list of all the models that I have right here. And Ollama run. Let's do QN 2.5. 3, 3B. Oh man, it's Ollama run can 2.5, 3 billion ends track installed on. See, it's loading. And then you get the chat box. Send a message. Hello. Tell me about yourself. Did you see that response time? Did you see that? Oh my god, that's just satisfying to me too. Hello, I'm Quinn. A large language model created about blah blah blah. My primary question. How can I assist you today? What can you do? Answering questions, text generation, translation, dialogue completion, question generation, summarization, fact checking, and interesting. Culture and historical information. Right? Okay. Tell me a funny story in 10. Wait, what? Great. Not Benny X. Bye. And yeah, this is essentially local AI. This is Ollama running QN 2.5 at almost no latency. This is like really good. I just did a. Oh. Hmm? What? Oh? Why? What? Sure. Give me 1 second. I'm coming. And so Mrs. Gigglesworth received her entire order in time for the arrival of her newborn baby, all thanks to her quirky baker friend. I don't even know what fuck all story it made up. Sounds pretty interesting. And while you guys try this out, I'm gonna go hold my newborn baby because she's not newborn no more. Wait fast. Boo. Man, I can't even vape. Holy shit. We're back. And if you we did the test and the terminal. Now the third thing you need is a UI, user interface, and for that we're gonna use Open Web UI. Again, super simple. I'm not actually gonna go over the steps to install Open Web UI because there's like hundreds of tutorials for this. You could just ask ChatGPT. You could just do a Google search. It's just like one line of code that you gotta copy paste into your terminal, and then boom, and then like a bunch of ports set up. It's not hard to troubleshoot. Really, really straightforward, in my opinion. So then we can achieve, once we have these three, chat, we would achieve this. See that? Instead of being like this, we have a nice little interface, like it's ChatGPT, new chat, chats from before, and folders. You can make stuff like projects basically. So here's the catch. This is all local, right? That's why the latency increases every time you even add another service. Before it was in the terminal, so there's no latency. Now, your name and purpose, right? Almost the same question basically. See what it does, how long it takes. Pretty fast, pretty fast. Hello, my name is Quinn. I'm an AI model. It's answering before. Okay, shut up. What type of task do you specialize in? Boom, 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 boom. Nice. Information retrieval, text generation, translation, question, answer, content creation. So, now you have a UI. Now it's the next step. After you have these three, then we're gonna delve into this little concept of system prompt versus user prompt. Oh, this is playing my audio here too, I think. And then so what is system prompt and what's a user prompt? When we usually do our stuff with ChatGPT, we just go like, hey, can you summarize this essay? I just send 3 PDFs and be like, hey, can you write a report on these? So, essay or report, right? Suppose you. I'm trying to make this sound better than, like, I don't know. I was gonna say, suppose you're a student who wants to use ChatGPT for every single report. That's not good, right? So, instead, instead, let's look at this from a teacher's perspective. This is a good idea. I just got this right now. Sometimes my genius scares me too. So, a system prompt is essentially the soul persona of your system or a system that you make. So for the teacher, they need a lot of question papers. Every term, same syllabus from last year or last semester, but they're gonna make a new question. And as shitty as it might seem, it's future the way it's pointing. teachers aren't gonna write the questions themselves anymore. At most, they're gonna have one set of questions that they wrote before, and now all the next ones are gonna be modeled by AI. So, how do we make this easier? By a system prompt and a user prompt instead of just one prompt. If there was just one prompt, the workflow would be like this. I'm gonna write this down. Prompt, answer. In our case, the answer is a question paper. Not even a question paper, a set of 10 multiple choice questions. Okay? 10 MCQ questions. Now that's just a regular prompt. Right? I don't know how much you can see. Verse, I'm gonna write this down for myself too. Might as well. 3 files, and then you say make 10 MCQ questions out of these materials. Right? This can get tedious if you want to do this every single term, every single question, every single time, right? So, as lazy as it might seem, it is efficient, and this will be the future. It already is the future right now. People have been using this in a lot of different places. I use this for my NEXUS. I'm gonna get to it. So if you have a system prompt for the same problem, okay? That is, you are a teacher, or actually maybe examiner. Your job is to... You can even ask ChatGPT to make a system prompt. It's good at it. Or just any AI or any LLM. They're good at teaching themselves. It's called machine learning for a reason. Your job is to make multiple choice questions. And then be like, only provide 10 multiple choice questions at a time. And list them in order of complexity. See, that is not anything crazy, but that's a good system prompt. So I wrote, you are a teacher examiner. Your job is to make multiple choice questions. Only provide 10 multiple choice questions at a time. Then list them in order of complexity. So now, since this is the system prompt, that's the sole persona slash job of your bot or of your AI. And then you give it a user prompt, which could be, I guess, I don't know, a PDF of the textbook, or a topic, or previous terms questions. Previous question. Now, the LLM feeds this info into the user prompt, into the system prompt, and then the system prompt gives the answer back to the LLM, and then we get that answer. This would be nice if I had like some sort of visuals for this, but like for now, my notebook is all you guys can see. If you wanna get a closer look or read. So here's what happens. Now you don't need to tell it every time what it needs to do. It knows what its job is because that's a system. It's a system you made. It's that simple. Did it click in your head? Yes, I know it did. Because I'm a good teacher. So now it knows that it's an examiner or a question paper maker, whatever you want to fucking call it at this point. I'm losing my shit. You just gotta provide a context, content, or you get the point. And it will do what you asked it to do the first time, but better. And you can make this a system. Why do you need a system? Because if you're a teacher, you are gonna need to make questions for every single term, every class test, every final exam. That's a lot of questions to make. Versus if you're a student and you want to just cheat on one exam, it's done and deal, done and dusted. So that's why I was thinking of a better example. Because as a student, I've done this. I've used AI in like so much stuff so many times over and over again. And boy, I've copied off other people's assignments and I've gotten better marks than them. Start of stealing. So now that we understood system prompts and user prompts, you can kind of guess where I'm going with this. To make Jarvis, I need Jarvis system prompt. This is true regardless of whatever the hell I ask it to do. Whatever, whatever happens, this stays true. It will always answer in the same tone. It will always give me no more than, I guess, 3 sentences. It would always ask me one clarification question at the end. You can set it however you want. The possibilities are limitless. So, Jarvis system prompt. And then we get NEXUS. So, let's copy all this. Cut. Choose NEXUS. No, actually, new chat. NEXUS. See, NEXUS, my personal butler. How did we get this? If you go into... So, before I move in, I am gonna clarify. This version of NEXUS that I'm showing you right now on screen is only for OpenWebUI. And there's another version on my version that I actually wrote scripts for, obviously with the help of beloved ChatGPT. Which is slightly different, and you might have a question that why did I do this and not that straight? Because I'm still learning. I am still learning. I don't know any of this yet. I have just gained all of this knowledge with the help of AI and YouTube. YouTube has been a better teacher than any school could have ever been for me. Wallahi. And here we are. Let's show you how you can make your own custom model. With OpenWebUI, it's super simple. We're not actually training a model based on specific information and graphs and all of that to act a certain way. That's different. That's whole you teach a model, that's machine learning. You teach, I just saw a post on Instagram, somebody made some sort of machine learning software that can count every single potato in the conveyor belt. We're not doing that. That's not that. That's the deep shit. So pretty damn straightforward. You think of a personality, you think of constraints you want to give your chatbot, and then you put it in the mod in here. So when you go to workspace, you go to models, and then you have a new model. You can click this. You can add model name, select base model, and you can click the 7 billion model. It will give you better answers, but slower answers. You can pick a 3 billion model. It will give you faster answers, but worse answers. you can pick the coder model. It will only give you answers, or like not only give you answers. What is this example system prompt? Write your model system prompt content here. You are Mario from Super Mario Bros. Acting as an assistant. How does that even make sense? I don't even know. But once all this is done, oh yeah, here's the good part. Here's the good part. I don't even, oof. You can add knowledge base. To attach knowledge base, and a lot of this stuff you're gonna see AI often using the word KB. That's knowledge base. I had never used the abbreviation KB for knowledge base until ChatGPT taught me. So to attach knowledge base here, add them to the knowledge workspace first. So here, you gotta add new knowledge, and then it's essentially like you can add a PDF. You can add like 100 PDFs. You can make a model that is well known on just horror story books, and then you can teach it by giving it PDFs or scanned copies of every single horror book that you can get your hands on without, I guess, plagiarizing. And then it can write better horror stories for you. Voila! But we were not doing that. We're back at Nexus. So I'm gonna show you my setup for Nexus. Once my project is done and dusted, I do plan on making everything open source. But not just that, I actually plan on shipping Nexus as a installable package or product that should make everybody's life way easier, right? Rather than, I guess, following a guide that says install this, that, make sure this port is routed here, that. That's a lot of work. So, scratch that. Let's come back to the system prompt. Let's see. You are Nexus, neural execution and external utility system. Role, a local command center AI for managing models, tools, automation, and Homelab services. This is what I need. I told ChatGPT my needs, my bare minimum needs that I needed to do this. It's okay if we can do this, and like we can broaden that horizon later. But then it gave me this, and then I obviously tweaked it a bit, and yeah, like I added this part. You are not a chatbot because it keeps talking like it's a chatbot. So I was like, okay, what if I do this? And then it talked in a better tone. Okay, hard rules. Like you can add a lot of this stuff in the system prompt. See, role, hard rules, behavior, tone, goal. So this is essentially the soul of your LLM. When you have an AI agent, when you get to that point, there's usually a soul MD file. And from what I have gained so far, or understood so far, this is what equates to a soul MD file because this is basically the soul of my model. Hard rules. I'll put an actionable answer first, and even if details are missing, ask at most one short clarified question only if it materially changes the recommendation. Default 1 to 2 sentences. Use bullets only for commands or critical steps. No filler. No, I need more info lists. Behavior, assume a local stack. Windows Gaming PC, Ollama, OpenWeb UI plus local tools. Optimize for low latency and reliability when providing commands. Use clean code blocks. If uncertain, state the assumption in one short clause, then proceed. See, this is something that the LLM won't do. It will just keep rambling. You just said, okay, what about this? And then, oh, so you can also do this on your system, but this has this, that. ChatGPT does this. So, every time I do a project, I'll come back to wait. So, because you can add system prompts in ChatGPT too. I'm gonna make a you can make a custom GPT obviously if you have a ChatGPT Plus, you can make custom GPTs. It's basically Nexus in ChatGPT, so I could have that. But ChatGPT at the end of the day. The freedom that you feel the from just using open source shit is just like different. It's hard to explain it in words. Once you experience it, you know what I'm talking about. But You also give it a system context, so it knows what it's running on. So in case, this stuff comes up in information, or you just don't know, like, yo, like. But yeah, there's advanced parameters. There's all of this. There's a lot of stuff. Most of this you don't really need to do not much. Then prompts. See, tell me a fun fact about the Roman Empire. Tell me a fun fact about the Roman Empire. Interesting. So you can set some predetermined prompts. Like, I'll show you. Knowledge, upload files, and then capabilities. Vision is the camera. File upload is file upload. File content work search uses citations, status updates, built-in tools. So you want to just have all of these checked in, except for, like, I guess, usage. And, like, depending on your own necessities, you can also just have a lot of these off, like file upload, file context, web search if you want to be fully offline. But at the end of the day, I don't really have much stuff that I feel like is vulnerable information, or just like I want to save and I don't want to be safe on the internet. Because at the end of the day, if you want to hack me, bro. I don't have much to lose. That's fine. Time and calculation, memory, chat, history, bada bing, bada bing, bada bing, boom, boom. So these are the built-in tools, and then that's the voice that Open Web UI uses when it talks to me. But screw this, right? Now that we know how this works, we can move on to, like, bigger and better stuff. Let's come back to my mini command center project on the local Jarvis chat. And I'm gonna look to see how my stream looks on my phone. One sec. Because I don't really know if I'm actually. Oh, that's my screen. Okay, the stream is good, I think. You are echoing. Make this into a video. Why pay for ChatGPT when you already have this? I'm echoing. Interesting. Why am I echoing? So I'm echoing. But why? I'm actually confused now. Well, as long as you can understand what I'm saying. A little echo won't hurt nobody. We'll figure it out next stream. It's the second stream today, guys. You gotta allow it. Okay, coming back to the elephant in the room. Agent plus UI, we talked about this, and now we go back to tools. What Jarvis can do. You can run a small local tool server. We'll get to it. This is not that complicated. As complicated as it sounds, it's not. Camera, snapshot, record, short play, motion detect. Yes! This is my, that's the idea literally that I wrote down earlier. That instead of a wake word, I want a wake face. And I don't even have a wake word yet. It's press to talk. And I haven't even, like, demoed that. Because I want to finish talking about all of this and then show you guys. See, I opened this chat to show you guys the like how I deal with ChatGPT or like how I organize my project, right? So I don't know if you remember this project that I'm on ChatGPT right now. This is not Jarvis. This is my mini command center. That's about this a mini laptop, like I said. So there's already three chats about this. This was the second recent chat where I delved into this local Jarvis setup because the previous three chats that I did mini command center stuff on had a lot of info that ChatGPT could use to help me make local Jarvis, and it helped obviously. Like here's the like how do I like this Pocket Jarvis PDF. Okay, let me just click this. I downloaded it twice, of course. But look, Pocket Jarvis project, full offline voice AI goal. Turn your N.E.X.U.S MPC into a fully offline voice assistant. Jarvis style. This one. I could have used Debian. Shit. Maybe I will use Debian. See, there's so many caveats. See, I wanted to do like a always on type thing, like hey Jarvis, but like this is not gonna be always on. It's in my pocket or on my desk next to my pillow. It is best to just open it up and go like press a button, then it starts listening, then I talk to it, which is this push to talk loop. PTT is push to talk. TTS is text to speech. LLM is large language model. Speech to text is STT. These are abbreviations that are gonna uh, come in handy like in every step of the way. And this is like my little guide of how I would do this setup, right? Install base packages, boom, boom, boom. Install Ollama and the model. See, this is what you need to do to download Ollama on your PC. Curl, that's for Linux, by the way. For Windows PowerShell, the command slightly is different. But if you're gonna be doing this, start learning this on Linux, not what? This SH I went no. Who downloaded and installed SH? When did I download this? I am so confused. Oh, this install.sh. This. Anyways, install faster whisper offline speech to text. This. Then install Piper offline text to speech. I gotta pick up back on the mini command center project because right now I'm just going through the guide that I made with ChatGPT after doing what I wanted to do and leaving what I want to do for the future left. I want to get back to it. I want to finish the stuff. I did do a lot of this stuff that I was planning to, but never did on this on my local Jarvis setup. That's why I meant the Pocket Jarvis setup would help for my local Jarvis stuff. That's why this whole one project in another project. But this is what I'm saying. That's messy, right? So how do we get around that? But here. See, this is like everything that I needed to do. Checkpoint 1, get Jarvis talking on your gaming PC. So bada bing, bada boom, you make a virtual environment, and then you have all the stuff. Download voice, this the voice, generate speech, this is for testing it, I'll play it. And yeah, a lot of debugging went in this, but basically it just goes on. It just goes on. Every script that it wrote or I sent to it was like 200 plus lines. But here's the where the magic happens. So I still haven't demoed Jarvis because yeah, I want to yap still, and my music sounds good. If I want to actually test Jarvis, I have to pause the music. I don't feel like it. So this is where I decided that this is enough for today. It is enough for now. This is some success that we can be happy with. We can go to bed with. We can sleep tonight. So then I was like, actually, the meter placements are fine for now. I was trying to change the meter placements or the voices, the spectrum that shows that I'm actually talking. I wanted to change where it went. But at the end of the day, I realized just changing one thing from like I have to change five things, and I don't want to stay up. I have to go to sleep, wake up again for sahur, and then go back to sleep again. Uh, but since it was done, now I can use all of this info that we just did in this chat as KB knowledge base for a new project that is just this. So, can you put everything we did in this chat in detailed manner in a PDF that I can use as knowledge base for a new project of its own to make Jarvis? I figured this trick out like a few projects ago that helps me just like migrate one chat and its progress into a new project. So helpful, you have no idea. So, fuck it, just like click it and download it again. So this is like generated, date and time, everything. Local Jarvis knowledge base, project vision, Nexus, system architecture. From the mic, faster whisper, speech to text, it goes to the NEXUS core Python, and then it goes into Ollama, and then yeah, you get the point. Hardware and runtime, it has all the information. Core components, Ollama, LLM runtime. We have the fast model and a smart model. We're gonna get to it in a bit. And then we have faster whisper offline speech to text. We have Piper offline text to speech. Here's the model. Like here's the fast and smart model stuff. Nexus score, Nexus not score, core heart. Like you get the point. Pi means Python script. This is the central shared brain. It does model routing. So what is model routing? You wanna ask your AI like a question, right? But questions are sometimes simple, sometimes they're hard. If it weren't, it would be kind of like, besides the point. But what if the person answering your question is taking the same amount of time to respond every time, even if you ask it rocket science question, or even if you ask it a chicken recipe? My benchmark for simple questions is a chicken recipe. When you see enough of my videos, hear me talk enough, you're gonna see I actually use that as an actual benchmark to test a lot of these models. I'd be like, tell me a chicken recipe I can make in 20 minutes. And different models give this answer in different ways. Same model with different number of parameters give this answer in different ways. You learn so much. So, model routing. So fast model, the faster model is the one that has lesser parameters, lesser information database to go to. And I don't know. I'm just really out of it. It's hard to like stay focused on what I'm talking about. But the smart model is the same model but with more parameters. Instead of 3 billion, there's 7 billion parameters. Now, how do we decide like which one to pick, right? So when we do this speech to text, when I speak, it chooses and looks for keywords. If I say any words like explain, why, analyze, debug, write, the bread is done? What? Oh, it rose? It rise? No, what's the word? Risen? What? I'm not Englishing right now. But, so, if I say any of these smart keywords, the core Python script routes my speech to the 7 billion parameter model. Otherwise, any other time, always the 3 billion parameter model. And I'm gonna demo that in a bit by asking the same question in two different ways. The system prompt that I showed you in OpenWebUI, the NEXUS stuff, that also goes in the core Python script. And then we have the front end. There's a NEXUS push to talk in CLI. So when I'm in the command line interface, what are you showing me? .gov. What the heck? I'm confused now. Declassified and approved for release. Oh no. Is this the UFO stuff?
Yeah, it was an info.
No, there's like new stuff. There's a podcast where Obama was asked, "Are there aliens?" He didn't say there's no aliens. He instead said there are aliens, but they're not in Area 51. And then on the next, somewhere, Trump said Obama leaked classified information by saying that. And like every other cover up, this is basically them trying to cover up on other stuff that's going on, other more important stuff that's going on in USA right now, like the Epstein files. They're just gonna give us bigger fish to fry, like aliens out of nowhere. So we forget about this, but we won't. Anyways, then we got the overlay option. This is the always on top graphical user interface with visual meters. And future expansion roadmap, wake word, agentic task. So wake word, like I said, I could just say something like, "Hey Nexus," instead of pressing and holding F9 on my keyboard. I could just be next to my mic or just over there and yell to my mic, "Hey Nexus," and it should essentially start working. But to do that, especially on like a pocket device like this, it would take up a lot of RAM, battery, CPU, everything. Because it's always running in the background, waiting to hear your wake word. How Google does. Waiting for you to say, "Hey Google, turn off all the lights." Oh no, these are not broken lights. It turned two lights up, it turned the living room lights up. Dumb that shit. But that's a wake word. That's how I want Nexus to respond. I go like, "Hey Nexus," and it starts responding out of nowhere. But what's even better is instead of having a wake word, you have a wake face. I could have better quality cameras than this that actually are made for object recognition. And then every time I'm in the field of view of the camera, it will go like, "Hello, sir. How are you doing today?" Like Jarvis does whenever Tony walks into his lab. Oh my god, this is just like so satisfying to even think about that I can have this technology working and with my own bruh. Persistent memory layer. Da, 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 da. So there's some few things. We don't have persistent memory yet. Every time I close Jarvis, it will forget what we talked about right now. Which is why I needed to have like a database of some sort where every chat we have, all this information keeps getting stored. How ChatGPT has storage, right? All the chats, all the projects. So it can always refer back to our previous conversation, not just previous conversation, months ago conversation, our older projects, everything. So For it to have persistent memory, it needs to have a database that I'm also locally running. So it's probably gonna be my NAS eventually. But local API servers for multi-client access, that'll be nice. Startup automation via task scheduler. Nice. Okay, I never even shut down my PC. Why do I have to have it on startup? It would need to be on startup if my PC ever was shut down. I never turn off my PC. It's always running. And it's a gaming PC, so no good. But my temps always are at like 45, 46, 7, 8 degrees. Wow. I just set it and changed it. Key design principles: one core brain, NEXUS core, multiple front ends, voice overlay, future wake word, deterministic outputs via control temperature, offline first design, and expandable modular architecture. Yes. So now that I have this, I could just put this PDF into a new chat, right? Like this. This documents, but it's also said now I can make a much deeper technical version with code structure and explanations, a Jarvis product version for future monetization, a developer build manual step-by-step recreation guide. This is what I wanted, a developer build manual. Yes, and then we open this and boom. It gives you like every single step, every single step you need to do to get where I am right now with NEXUS. Isn't that wonderful? I would have had to manually write down on this all of this that I did to get this sort of organization. But now ChatGPT does it for you. This is the future. This is what technology was made for, man. People that don't like AI are just fucking losers, bro. If you don't like AI, get off my stream. I don't need your subscription. I'm okay. I'm a hater for people who hate AI. I've been an AI advocate since like this shit came to light. I've been telling everybody that no, this is gonna take over our lives, and it already has. But now that I have this too, the step-by-step guide, I could put both of these files into a new chat, which is what I would do. But I never put the build manual because I actually don't need it, unless I don't know how I built it myself. That's the build guide is more for like to put on my blog site so that when I am making these videos, I can list my blog site on the video description, and you guys can get that PDF and recreate this. So, NEXUS build guide, right? See, all these texts, February 20, 2020, but 4 files. Look, NEXUS overlay.py. That's the Python script for the overlay, the user interface. NEXUS core.py. That's the Python file for the soul persona system prompt. And NEXUS push to talk.py. That's the Python script for how push to talk works on the command line interface. And then we got the NEXUS local Jarvis knowledge base PDF. So when ChatGPT goes through all 4 of these files, it knows what up. It's that simple. To make it even simpler, I give it this one tiny, system prompt here. Keep answers precise and only give steps to do after confirmation. Otherwise, it'll be like, okay, you can do this, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just keeps generating for the whole step. Brother, I don't want the whole step at once. What if something goes wrong on step 2? That's why I did this. Give me one step, I try, do it, troubleshoot, and then come back to it. But now that that's done, I'm going to show you the first chat and how to make sure everything actually works. No, this is, wait, what? Okay, wait, that's not the chat. This is, system overview, build progress. System overview, actually, like, yeah. See, tell me what you know so far and where to start. Like, I forgot about what my project was, supposedly. But I hadn't it written down. So, it should be able to pick it up. You get where I'm coming from? So you don't need to keep track. As long as the track is there, somebody else can keep track for you. Yeah. Man, so sick. So this is the best part. When you ask it, tell me what you know so far, it goes through every single file, it tries to correlate them and then give you this answer. And when it does, it not just does give you the answer, it cites where it got the information for to make this answer. So you already formalized the architecture in your system document. That's the one. Nexus local Jarvis knowledge base. This document defines bada bing bada boom. This is not a prototype anymore. That's an architecture. That GPT be gassing me up for the ideas it gave me a lot of these times. But see, we got this, and then your actual code modules. See, it's showing me where it got this. The brain. This is a central intelligence router. Da, 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 da. Model selection determines demonstration of the system identity from pipe to data playback. Ollama chat interface. Okay. This is correctly designed as the single source of truth. Yes. And then we got the Nexus PTT, which is the push to talk. Oh my god, why do I keep downloading files I don't need? I gotta clean my downloads. So, what did the cats drop? I heard something drop. What? I picked that lighter up like 10 times a day, but then they drop it again. And then we got overlaid up by, sorry? And then. See, it knows everything we did so far. And boom, finally. What you've achieved, big picture. Oh, sorry. I scrolled my screen by just hitting my table. My bad. Sorry? Abu! Hey! Hello! Hey, why you smile? He's so cute. Unified logic into one core brain, eliminated front end answer mismatch. That was a problem. That was a problem. Because I would say one thing, it would assume another thing just because I had different cases. Like instead of small letter, I had bigger letters. You can just tell me I'm done in 30 minutes. The stream is done in like 33-ish minutes, I think. Yeah, I did 1 hour and 22 minutes so far. So I need 38 minutes. Math is not mathing, bro. My brain is slowed down. I'm hungry. Da, da, da. So made text to speech play internally, no file pop. So this was the thing that was happening before. Every time it would tell me the audio answer, like it would try to respond to my question. I wasn't just hearing it, it was automatically just opening up Windows Media Player, and the answer that it generated is always a WAV file, an audio file. It was automatically opening up Windows Media Player, playing that file over and over again until I paused it or stopped it or like something like that. Not over and over again actually. It would play and then come back to the first. If I want to play it again, it would play and repeat. But why would I want that? So I made it such that the audio was coming from the UI itself and the background. There's no visible anywhere anything playing that you can cross out to actually stop the audio. That's how it should be. Because suppose it's a 10-sentence story like that old story that we made in the first beginning of the stream. This story. I was trying to remember the name, man. Mrs. Gigglesworth. So, if it's a story that takes, I guess, 30 seconds to iterate, like, say, I could be halfway through the audio and then I could just click cross or like close on Windows Media Player and then I won't be able to hear the rest of the answer, right? And we don't want that. I want the answer to play and keep playing until I interrupt it by clicking talk again. That's the next thing I also want to do. Reminder. Interrupt. Interruption is something that I'm not really that into because I don't think I want to interrupt my AI while it's giving me an answer. Because I don't think I'm going to ask it questions that it's going to ramble for. So we'll get to that eventually, if we really do need it. So then it says, what you do not have yet, wake word, persistent memory, tool execution, background service mode, API server mode, multi-client support, long-term memory store. That's the same as persistent memory. I didn't make two different ones. Permission layer, system automation capability. So That's what it thinks we had, but we got more. This was system overview, right? Then this is from last night essentially, and I already have this, but let me just look through the downloads. Nexus project update tools. Yes, this is the PDF. As you can see, that chat said I don't have any tool integration yet, but this is what I did yesterday or last night, earlier tonight, at midnight, after midnight. That's why the date is 21 still. So you can see summary. This update adds a safe, developer-friendly path for Nexus to execute real actions tools while keeping control of the user interface. It introduces a tool registry, allow list, local PowerShell execution, remote SSH execution, and a confirm gate in both push to talk and overlay UI. It also documents the true NAS scale SSH setup and a key bug fix around host argument naming and casing. That was another thing. So, what changed? Core, tool call protocol. LLM can return either a normal response or a single tool proposal as strict JSON. Parsing is hard. Tool layer. Current architecture, UX layer, core layer. Same thing, but it's telling me what else it's gonna do. So the tool layer. So we have a new Python script that's Nexus tools Python. It defines an allow list of tools and how to execute them. So there's a list of tools. See Nexus score, Nexus overlay, push to talk, tools, tray. So I forgot to mention about the tray part because essentially what it does is add a system tray icon for Jarvis when I started. And then I can cross out of the user interface and it will still stay running. And I just have to click the system tray icon and then it'll come back again, which is pretty nice if you want to have it as a system service, which your AI assistant should be. And let me return either respond as able to propose it. The tool proposes one to JSON with the shape. Yes. So tool call protocol, and then I did the true NAS scale SSH setup nodes. So a lot of stuff, everything was working, but I realized I can't SSH into my NAS because I've never actually had to SSH into my NAS because I don't know. You're not supposed to like do a lot of command line interface on TrueNAS, so this apparently breaks it. But I didn't really need SSH access before. So we set that up. You go into TrueNAS. Wait. That's how you do it. Then you go to System, General Settings. Wait. Actually, credentials. You got this here. So this is my credential, right? See, you see SSH right there. SSH key set right there. That's how you do it. I'm not going to show you all the details because it's just going to make my stream longer with useless information, but you got this. If you have any questions, put it down in the comments and I'll help you troubleshoot. No worries. No. Screw that. Holy, so many PDFs. Wait, just this one. Pocket Jarvis, full offline voice guide. Okay. Then we got the NEXUS local Jarvis system knowledge base, and then we got developer build manual. Then we got project update. Lovely. See, I would never be this organized with my project. I'll just be writing down shit notes like this. And now we got professional looking organization for my project. This makes it so much easier to just like put it out there. Suppose on GitHub or just like this. I'm being able to just go through all the stuff that I did and explain to someone without losing track or going off the rails, just yapping because I have ADHD. But no. Host allow this file. So then you have a JSON file where you have this essentially. The host, it has a name, NAS, a user, that's the name, address is the IP address, and the port is destination port is always 22. Bug fix. So I was saying, let me just do this honestly. Wait. Connect the speaker, because otherwise I can't actually. Hmm. Wait. What? No such file or directory. That doesn't make sense. Because I'm not in Jarvis. Please. CD Jarvis voice. And now, see, we were just not in the folder that the file is in. It happens, shit happens. But now we got our UI. See, NEXUS online. Right click to make it compact. See, that's so cool. This is you hold to talk. That's I'm gonna talk and it's gonna transcribe my text and then it's gonna show what NEXUS is saying. So, hello, how are you doing? Wait for it.
Functioning well. Thank you for asking. How can I assist you today?
You hear that? The volume's not that loud. Wait, let me turn it up a bit. State your name and purpose. So you see how I said state your name and purpose?
I'm NEXUS, designed to assist with system information retrieval. How may I help you today?
Before I go on, look how it said model QN 2.5, 3 billion. Now, if I just add one thing, state your name and explain your purpose. Now there's the smart keyword, explain. Don't let me down, don't let me down. Come on. Do you hear my fans going?
NEXUS, the neural execution and external utility system. My purpose is to assist with tasks by leveraging external tools and providing informed support. How may I assist you today?
I got distracted, but because I was just like messing around, I just like this work. Every single time, just bamboozles me that it actually works. So, you see how I asked the same question, state your name and your purpose? I said it, state your name and explain your purpose. Now I added that smart keyword. So instead of the 3 billion parameter model, it's using the 7 billion parameter model. And if you see, the answer is like slightly better. Nothing crazy, but still better. If it was a technical question, it would show. But here's the magic. Here's the tool that I added last night. Wait. Is my NAS running? I don't think this is gonna work. It is working. Okay.
NES available.
Is the uptime of NAS available? It says NAS. I need to fix that somehow. Network attached storage. If you still don't know what that is, watch my shorts. See, when I confirmed, it showed me the time. 14 hours, 14 minutes up. One day, 46 minutes. Actually, no, this is the time that is giving me the answer at 14:50. Yep. It's been up for 1 day and 46 minutes. There's 2 users, load average is 0.000. Lovely. So it's giving me the state of my NAS. And that's the only tool I added so far. I can do the same thing, like exact same thing, with my Minecraft server. I just need to add another user in the hosts file, the JSON file. So let's try that, honestly. Let's add a curse. Okay. Let's see if it works. No, because it's on project, right? Tell me what we did so far and what's next. Here's the clean technical breakdown of our next stands and what's next. What we've done so far: core architecture, NEXUS core, push to talk, overlay. That's the correct. It goes on and on. It's not done. Why is the response so long? Okay. Okay. Yep. What's next? Logical order. Wait. Current state, modular, expandable, dual motor, fusion, feedback enabled. Okay. Improve voice. Better Piper voice or alternate talk to speech. Okay, nope. I don't care. Personal tuning. Nope. Logging system. Conversation logs to file. Yes. Maybe. Error handling hardening state. Wake word system. Replace push to talk with NEXUS. Yes. Requires continuous low power mic listener. That's the problem. And then Homelab integration. Your real goal. Yes. I want to just ask my thing, be like, how are my servers doing? This requires SSH abstraction layer, server registry config file. Bada bing, bada boom, 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 boom. Okay. I don't think I added the file here. Yes, I did not add the file here. So we are gonna add the file. Downloads. Okay. We don't need the developer build because we already did that. Instead, we're gonna do the project update file, and we got NEXUS overlay, NEXUS core, NEXUS PDY. Okay, so since these files changed, we're gonna change. We're gonna delete them, right? And now we're gonna add all the files again. Not long. It's 5:18. I'm done in 20 minutes, I think. I guess. So we and then see we re-add the files. Sorry? Yes. It's dark outside. So NEXUS core, right? Then we got NEXUS push to talk. Then we got NEXUS overlay. Then we did NEXUS tray for the system tray options. And the last thing we did was NEXUS tools and NEXUS hosts, the list of hosts for accessing the tools. So now we're gonna add all these files. Boom. Because it clicked to me. I'm like, wait. It's telling me this information that's old. Because I left out adding these files onto my project to demo this live on stream. So we're doing it. Okay, everything's added. Yeah. One of them is JSON. Yep. And now close it. 8 files. See? Okay. I'm gonna go back. Is there anything useful in this chat? No. Okay. So we are gonna delete this chat. Because, yeah, I don't want more latency. Just like the more info ChatGPT holds for me, the slower it gets, is how I feel like. Okay, same question again. Tell me where we stand. What next? Yeah. See, now it updated the status. You now have a fully functional local Jarvis core with safe tool execution. Your architecture matches the documented stack in your knowledge base. Yes, that's the knowledge base. And the tool layer update. Yes. I love the little references to my files. From NEXUS core, fast, smart, yeah. Tool layer, allow list. You have local tools, local IP, top processes, and remote tools. Okay. SSH, batch mode, PO, attend, SSH uptime, SSH docker, SSH docker logs, host normalization plus lowercase handling fixed. Yes. And then we got these. Okay, so I have a second one, so I can try this. What is the uptime on MC? That's my Minecraft server. MC Minecraft. Is checking uptime on MC?
Time on MC.
Yeah, confirm.
Failed.
Minecraft permission denied. Yes, because we didn't set this up yet. We just had the IP address and the host name in the host file. But we haven't actually set up this public key password. So we're gonna do that. If I can manage to do it before the stream ends, let's try it. This makes NEXUS feel like a real background system device. Yes, a tray app, which you've actually built. Okay, so I wanna make sure that SSH TrueNAS, no. Yes, this is Minecraft. Okay, we are in, and then permission denied. Why? Public key password. Okay, wait. Okay, how do I set up the public key for my See, don't just like. Okay, we'll try this in PowerShell 9 on a new window, Control C, we got that. Let me come back here. Paste it. Install your public key on MC. In PowerShell, run this. It will prompt for the Minecraft user password one last time. Okay, that command creates a SSH if missing, appends your public key to authorized keys, sets correct permission, and import SSH will ignore the key if perms are wrong. Okay, step 3, test non-interactive key line. Okay, I got what to do. Copy this, come here, put this out of the way, enter, accessing password, okay, enter the password. It worked! It didn't tell me to do anything else, which means it worked, hopefully. And now test non-interactive key login. Who am I and hostname and uptime? Damn, that's 3 different questions. But let's try batch mode and it worked! It worked! Yes! So now, if I try to ask it the same thing, it might be able to do it this time. What is the uptime on MC? Is checking uptime on MC confirm? 5 days! Yeah! Yes, 5 days, 3 minutes and 57 seconds, 3 users, load average, okay. There's people playing right now. Interesting. Who's playing? It's probably my brother. And his friends. Yo! Yeah! Now I have a second tool. Jarvis can tell me about my Minecraft server too. The uptime, the users, a lot of stuff. Anything that I want to know on that. It's just like useful, I guess. Who am I? That's that. Host name is that. And uptime is this. Love that. So all that explaining to come to finally do this. You know, I was gonna vibe code for 2 hours. Today I actually didn't code for 2 hours. I showed you how I actually plan my coding. It's more planning than actual coding. If you don't plan how you're gonna vibe code, it's not gonna vibe. Your code is not gonna vibe if you don't plan it. It's that simple. Exactly. Come down me up. Hello. Step 2. Fails. It didn't fail. So where and NEXUS can turn up as well. Add Minecraft server help tools. I mean, I could just try this. MC command not found. Okay. So the MC stats command is just on the mini command center. It's not on the Minecraft server itself. So we gotta bring over all the server tools we made on the command center to here. Again, when all the files are organized, it's easy. You just migrate them here and be like, okay, I want this that was done on this system to be done here, and then it gives you the whole breakdown. Magical. My workflow has never been this smooth. Full server held summary command as in and MC1 response, yes, add document. Move toward memory layer. Okay, let's try this. Already made MC stats and other MC commands on the mini. Use the same commands to remove confusion. Also, also I have RCON is on the Minecraft server, so I wanna be able to do stuff like errors and whitelist and whatnot. That's the 30. Hey Google, stop. Can you tell me a story in 10 seconds? Let's see if you can tell me a story in 10 seconds instead of 10 sentences.
In a world where orders is the only currency, a humble scribe discovered he could create reality with them. With each sentence, landscapes unfolded and characters came to life. Yet, one day, his last word vanished into thin air, leaving him alone in an empty room. He realized that true power lies not in creation, but in preservation of stories.
Interesting. That's a really weirdly interesting story. Like it's a philosophical shit. In a world where words were the only currency, a humble scribe discovered he could create reality with them. With each sentence, landscapes unfolded and characters came to life. Yet one day, his last word vanished into thin air and leaving him alone in an empty room. He realized the true power lies not in creation, but in preservation of stories. Yes, sir. Here. We like that story. Man. So if I do cross here, Nexus is still running. This is what I mean by hotkeys. So I'm gonna do F9. Hey Nexus, can you tell me uptime on N.E.X.U.S? It should pop up on the screen anytime now. Or it's just talking on its own. But I think it's gonna pop up. Oh. What? Oh, my dumbass. So now that I crossed overlay, it did close. I am supposed to not run it like that. There's actually another one. Trade.py. Boom. Now, you see? Nexus, local Jarvis in my system tray. That is so satisfying. I have no idea. Bruh. So, this time if I cross this service should still be running in the system tray. So, let's try that. Close it. Hey Nexus, what is the uptime on NAS? Come on. Another reason why this might be like, messing with me? What? It keeps okay, it crossed out again. Interesting. Why? Try to quit. Which one? That's beef. The heck? Cross this. Interesting. So we got a bug to fix. And where is she? Oh, I see. Sorry about the light. I'm done almost. So if I do okay, so I broke something. Line to okay. So now I gotta debug some shit. No problemo. We will come back with the debugged version on the next stream. That is it for today. It's almost 2 hours, I think. 3 more minutes till it's 2 hours. So let's try and debug this real quick. Wait. What happened? She's cooking. Wait, I'll pick her up. And inside class, NEXUS overlay, add these methods anywhere in the class body. I usually put them near compact mode. Okay. This is core host overlay PTT tools. Wait, where did it say to do it? Oh, but inside the class NEXUS overlay. Add these methods. Okay, wait, where is it? Close overlay. Okay. too tired to even look for that line right now. We're gonna let this generate. And yeah. When does it start today?
5:56.
Is that accurate? I didn't even have that. Yeah, I just hit 2 hours and 1 minute. 31 views. Yeah. Today I got more views than yesterday. Alhamdulillah. So? Okay. Replace the current NEXUS overlay. Sorry? Oh, okay. Replace the current NEXUS overlay with the file above and run. Okay. Wait, what? Hello, child. Oh, she's hello! Oh, I'm sorry, Abu. I'm looking in the tray one, that's why. Overlay. We just close this, we go here. It's overlay. Open with love. Save. No, let's try running one last time. Okay, now let's see the system icon. Boom. Yes! Now I click hide and it's gone. And I should still be able to talk to it. Hey, can you tell me the uptime on N.E.X.U.S? See, I pressed F9 and it came back up on screen. It transcribed my question. It's trying to confirm.
Confirm. Check on N.E.X.U.S. Done.
Yes, done indeed. Done and dusted for today. That is it for today's stream. I will be back tomorrow. Keep working on the same stuff and more of my projects. Just if you guys want to follow along and see how I do it, why I do it, tap in. Peace.